Zane Clodfelter with OttersTV, Preston Leinenbach with OttersTV. Eugene is back in 2021. It's our series wrap-up. Evansville falling 2 out of 3 over the weekend to the Schaumburg Boomers, but Evansville able to salvage that game on Sunday.
That was a big win for the Otters because not only the way this series started, high-scoring affairs, 8-6, 8-6, you don't want to start that trend of having to score a lot of runs because you're giving up a lot of runs. Kept it low scoring here today. Obviously got enough insurance runs that counted toward the end. But Evansville needed a big win. I think last I heard, I haven't seen the final score before, was losing to Southern Illinois.
That's good news for Evansville. We saw 2 American League style games on Friday and Saturday, and then the finale on Sunday, more of a senior circuit style. Really good pitching. Dalton Stanball, I thought, was exceptional.
I think it could be argued that that was his best start of the year. Obviously, he had a good start in his first start, and then he kind of, a few after that, tough sledding a little bit. And when I say first, I mean back in the exhibition play, because he was really solid in exhibition play. And then regular season, a little bump in the road. But yeah, regular season-wise, I think today was his best start. Looked pretty solid, I guess, which is, again, a tough lineup with Schaumburg, even though despite the record, that Central Division, they kind of are going to beat up on each other this year, I think.
I thought it was interesting, you know, Nick Odo had the walk-off home run against Sawyer at their place. He only started, though, in 1 of the 3 games, but he did have that pinch-hitting opportunity late against Sawyer. It's
kind of weird with this Schaumburg lineup. You look at some of their averages near the bottom of the lineup, they're not impressive by any means. We saw yesterday an example of where anybody could come through at any moment for them with Nick Ames. He was heading below 100 going into the series, had a 2-home-run game. So, again, you still have to pitch carefully to every single guy in their lineup.
You would think by now people would be pitching Dakota Phillips carefully, but as we saw on Sunday, bases loaded, he had the key double there to really get the offense going for Evansville.
Yeah, big weekend for him, not only with the bases clearing double on Sunday, that 6 inning was the big difference, had a big home run, even though it was a losing result. Riley Crane had another good weekend as well, so it seems like these guys are coming through in the key situations, the top of the lineups, doing their job of getting on base. It's just they're still putting together the final pieces with this lineup, I think, but overall the key guys are really impressing here early on for the Otters.
Yeah, and we saw Penner at second base. He was a new face this weekend for Evansville.
Yeah, familiar face to the Frontier League, new to the Evansville Otters this weekend. He's been around the league with River City. Washington is where Evansville acquired him from, and they're looking to kind of shore up that infield a little bit. He's a utility guy, so he can play a little bit around the infield. He can step out to the outfield if you need him to, but I think primarily with this club, he's going to be in the infield, in that second base, where you can kind of spell J.R. Davis. Of course, you have DeJesus at shortstop, and I think Evansville really wants to keep Riley Crane toward the right side of the infield, even though he can basically play anywhere on the infield, but I think at first base, he's looked impressive defensively at first base.
Right, you mentioned Riley Crane. He can play anywhere on the infield, which shows his versatility. Dakota Phillips, too, has seen time at first base where we're typically used to him either being the catcher or the DH.
Yeah, he can be rotated around, but because most importantly, you got to have his bat in the lineup. We saw that. So
one other key thing I think for Evansville is the addition now of Taylor Wright. He is back in Evansville, and he had some key opportunities out of the bullpen.
Yeah, so Taylor Wright back from the 2019 season. He was the all-star closer for Evansville in 2019.
Rookie of the year, right?
Rookie of the year as well. Second in the last 4 years, I believe, for Evansville, if I do my math right. Then after the season, got an opportunity as the Atlantic League was still playing, so he went to Somerset. Of course, now Somerset is now an affiliated franchise.
Double A of the Yankees, correct?
That is correct. Comes back to Evansville, just kind of in a hold setup role for right now, as Logan Sawyer, again, the closer for this season at the start, and just kind of get him back into it, get him stretched out. I know the coaching staff before he officially saw game action had him throw a few times just to see where he was at, because it's been a couple of years for him as well since he played in a competitive game.
And you got to give Logan Sawyer a lot of credit. Obviously, the first 2 runners reaching in the 9th inning when you're on for the save isn't the best, but with that pressure, handled himself extremely well.
Yeah, I think there's no doubt about it. Logan Sawyer has kind of a tough grit mentality when he takes the mound, and there's no doubt about it. He can throw really hard. It's just a matter of hitting the spots. Obviously, the control at times being an issue, but I think it says more about a pitcher when they are able to get out the adverse situations like he got into with those 2 runners on. And yeah, and obviously he's a big guy, so he can deliver a little bit of power off the mound.
So to recap the weekend for Evansville against Schaumburg, Evansville loses 8-6 on Friday. They actually then lose 8-6 again on Saturday. In the midst of that Saturday game, a 1-hour, 11-minute rain delay, which made things a little bit interesting. Evansville, after that delay, couldn't put anything together, though. And then Sunday, was the first dog day of summer. We had a lot of dogs here. I know your dog was here. So
O'Reilly was here.
yeah, a whole lot of fans I know had a lot of fun with that. One other thing I want to point out about the weekend, we had the largest crowd of the season to date. It kind of felt like a reopening day a little bit.
Right.
3,295 for Deaconess Superhero
That
Night.
was a fun crowd. Now, again, a big crowd from Deaconess. Of course, we obviously want to allow them to have the chance to come out and enjoy themselves after the year that they've gone through with the Deaconess health system, but also for Superhero Night. It was a fun atmosphere with the superhero characters around. Like, the kids enjoyed it. There was a lot of dressed up in costume, so it was a fun night overall, and it makes me excited now that we're really getting into our promotional schedule.
Right.
Some of these bigger theme nights coming up, including our first fireworks night here coming up later this week.
We'll get to that in a second. Real quick, we have Ryan Brown with us. Ryan called all 3 games on Otters Digital Network on Frontier League Live TV. Ryan, did you see anything, or did Bill see anything over the broadcast the last couple days that really stood out to you guys?
I think the one thing that I would say was how important winning this game was. It's tough to say that there's any crucial game this early in the season, but after a tough turn through the rotation, you didn't want to waste a really good start from Dalton Stambaugh, and with Dakota Phillips' bat in the 6th inning, they didn't, which was huge.
I was really concerned that Dalton Stambaugh was going to have a spoiled start there and not get any run support. But
Yeah, and especially when it's a tough, kind of an interesting weekend where all 3 starters for Evansville were left-handers. We normally don't see that where you have 3 consecutive starts. Usually it's mixed up when it comes to a rotation between righties and lefties, but we had that. Thankfully, Stambaugh was able to get the win and kind of end the skid for the lefties this weekend, I guess you would say. But now looking ahead, you got Portella and Vail lined up in the next series against Gateway. So.
Right. So the Grizzlies are in town Tuesday through Thursday coming up. A couple of fun things to point out. It's a Taco Tuesday for the series opener on June 15th. Tacos at the ballpark, and then Modelo time, right? It's Modelo time somewhere. $2.50 not only for the Modelos, but for Corona beers.
That's right. Modelo Corona $2.50, tacos, nachos, frozen margaritas.
Oh,
which right now with the temperature going up, frozen margarita doesn't sound too bad.
We all need one of those. And then Senior Connection Wednesday, where anyone 55 years or older can get a ticket for just $2.
Yeah, $2 ticket. Can't beat that deal. Just get in for $2. Save your money for the concession stand afterwards.
And then a Working Distributors Thirsty Thursday to close that series against Gateway. 16-ounce drafts of your favorite domestic, only $2.50. 32 ounces if you want to double it. 1 Abraham Lincoln, $5 will take care of it.
That's exactly right.
Tickets are still available at EvansvilleOtters.com, or give us a call at 812-435-8686. For Ryan Brown, he's Preston Leinenbach, Eugene. I'm Zane Clodfelter. This has been Otters TV.